Here we go. Back again. Day 3 of division with decimals. And today gets a little interesting because today we're going to be putting decimals into the divisor. So now both numbers are going to be decimals. And there is a special way we have to handle it, but don't worry, I'm all about trying to make problem solving easier. That's the whole point, right? So I'm going to give you some tips on how to do that today, and hopefully we get some good practice in. So as you can see on your screen right now, when dividing by decimals, okay, when both numbers are decimals, mainly when the divisor is, you change the divisor into whole number. So basically I'm telling you to take a decimal and just turn it into a whole number. Well, how do you turn a decimal into a whole number? Well, it could be something like this, where if you have 0.9, and I tell you to turn that into a whole number, all you gotta do is take that decimal, kick it over here to the side of it, and then now you have just 9, right? If the decimal came after it, then it would be 9.0. So it would just be 9. So all you gotta do is move the decimal over to the right until it becomes a whole number. In this case, if it was, say, 0.009, something like that, you would have to move it over, obviously, 1, 2, 3 places all the way over for it to become 9 as well. But the idea is you can move that decimal over to turn it into a whole number. Now that does actually change the number, which poses a problem. And we'll get to that in just a second. To do this, you multiply both the divisor and dividend with the same power of 10. So essentially, whatever you do to your divisor, you have to also do to the dividend. So let's see what that looks like. If I give you the problem, 1 and 71/100 divided by 9/10, then you first go to set your problem up, right? The dividend, the first number here, goes right inside our algorithm box, right? And then our decimal goes outside. Our 9/10 goes outside. Our divisor out there ready to go. Here's the problem. We cannot divide using this algorithm if this number out here is a decimal number. We can't do it. So what do? We turn it into a whole number, just like I was just saying, right? We'll take this 0.9 and we'll just kick this decimal over one spot to make it a regular 9. Okay. Now, allowed to divide. But if you change, just like I said in the rules a second ago, if you change this number right here, then you have to do the exact same thing to this number over here, or else you get the wrong answer, right? It'll change the whole problem up. But if we change both of them the same, then the answer comes out the same. So if we do kick this decimal over one spot there, we do have to make a note to ourselves. This is really important, that the decimal goes here. So I might even just right now, since I already moved the decimal, kick it up here. Now I know this is a little confusing with the little lines and stuff, but what's really important is my decimal came straight up and it's right where it's supposed to be. Now I'm going to get into dividing this problem. I'm just going to pretend like it's a regular division problem. Start off here, right? How many times does 9 go into 1? It doesn't. And we'll leave that blank right there. You can put a 0 there if you want. I like to leave it blank. So if 9 doesn't go into 1, we need to see if 9 goes into 17. Which 9 most definitely goes into 17? Wish it was 2 times, that'd be nice. But it only goes in 1 time. So we'll just put a 1 right here. And 1 times 9 is 9. So we'll subtract it. 17 minus 9 is 8. And then we just bring down the next number and continue this process, right? So now we see how many times 9 goes into 81. Those of you that know your 9 facts are getting pretty excited right now because it fits in evenly. 9 goes into 81 9 times. And notice how I am working right in line here, trying to keep all my numbers lined up. 9 goes into 81 9 times. So I multiply those through, subtract, and I have no remainders. The answer is 1.9. Now, it might seem a little weird that you can take numbers like that and move the decimals over, but you get the same exact answer. What we just did was 17.1 divided by 9, but the original problem said 1.71 divided by 0.9. If I pull out my calculator here, and I were to do something along the lines of the original problem, 1.71 divided by 0.9, then it should give us the same answer, right? It should give us 1.9 if we're correct. And there we go. As you can see, it does give you the same answer, but that's the little workaround that we have to do to make sure it works for our algorithm. So let's do one more practice problem together, and I'll give you a couple of problems to look at more. Don't freak out. It's not that crazy. Okay, this one's a little crazy. A lot of decimal places. So go ahead and try this one on your own. Set up the problem, and then pause the video, see if you can work that decimal where it's supposed to go, and solve it, and then see if you get it right. So hopefully you did it, and you're unpausing right now, and you're back to looking at my nice and shining face, beautifully trimmed beard. Okay, I'll stop. The first number here, the dividend, is what goes in the box, right? So we'll put 0.0063 right in the box. And then I'll put 0.007 outside the box. Okay. Now, if we're following the rules that I've given you, the first thing you'll recognize is I'm not allowed to do that, right? I'm not allowed to divide when there's a decimal and divisor out here. So what do? Get rid of it, right? Slide that sucker over to the right. 1, 2, 3 spots. Okay, now I've made it a 7. Now it's just a regular old 7. So what am I going to do to this guy over here? Same exact thing. Move it over 1, 2, 3 spots. So the decimal would end up being right in between 6 and 3. Right? So I'm going to go ahead and bring that guy right up here. Again, trying to stay organized best I can throughout this whole process. Now, even though you have all these zeros and they might get a little bit confusing, let's just go to pretend none of these zeros exist. See if this makes it look a little better. Oh, now it's just like 6.3 divided by 7. Okay, let's see what I got. 7 will go into 6. It won't. Put a 0 there. Don't put a 0 there. Since there's a decimal right there, I'm just going to slap one on there. It doesn't go into 6, but 7 does go into 63. And again, those of you that know your 9s facts are freaking out right now. Like, this is good. Because 7 goes into 63 9 times. Exactly. No remainders. So, this big, long decimal problem that looked really crazy, that it might be a big problem, was really made a lot simpler because we were allowed to use this cool rule of moving that decimal over and finding out that if we just did 6.3 divided by 7 and got 0.9, it would give us the same exact thing if we did that up there. Let's just check it one more time just to make sure it's right. 0.0063 divided by 0.007 should give us that answer right there. And there it is, 0.9. We got it. And it's cool to kind of use these calculators to check it out. But the reason we do all this on paper is because it's so important to understand how numbers work. This will give you an answer. This will teach you how to think. And that's why you're here, guys. We're here to learn how to think and be real strong up here. This will tell you the answer. This will feed your brain. See you guys in the Zoom class, and hopefully in my real classroom here in a couple weeks. Have a good day.